Esther. The list goes on and on and on. Thank you for always listening to the Joy Sports Link and making this your number one when it comes to the issues and the personalities behind them. As I mentioned earlier, we're doing, a bit of a cocktail. It's a dual discussion this afternoon, and we're taking a close look at what may be possibly happening in the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko following the sack of the head coach, Maxwell Kunedu, and then the surprise resignation of the PR manager, Moses Benefo, who's known as a PJ Mose. But for now, I've got some two very, very tall gentlemen here with me in the studio. And, I don't like taking pictures with them because sometimes they make me look a little too dwarfed. Joining us later on as well will be the General Secretary of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, Charles Osei Sibe. Several years of experience as a journalist, and he's also the president of the Ghana Weightlifting Federation, as well as an athlete manager. There's a lot to discuss here on the Joy Sports Link. Let us now get straight into the review. Guys, thank you so much for joining.
Welcome, Nat.
Okay. Look, the results from Abu Dhabi wasn't that surprising, was it? Tell me.
Not much changed in Abu Dhabi. They went into the race in 1, 2, 3. They finished in 1, 2, 3.
Any moments that brought the adrenaline up a little bit? Any moments during the race for you?
Yeah, the middle sector. I mean, from the fourth position right down. I mean, wasn't it McLaren were able to go up one position on the Constructors' Championship. So, I mean, for those ones, yeah, it was quite interesting to see the results coming from the middle sectors as well. So it was a good race. I mean, to end the season, yeah.
For me, Abu Dhabi was more an anticlimax. I preferred the race before that one. That was the race before Abu Dhabi.
The Bahrain
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That had a lot more drama.
Yeah.
And also the mistakes in the pit where they put the wrong tires. Everybody expected a lot more from the final race. But anyway, it was a done deal. 2-3 races before we knew who was in number one, number two, number three. So Abu Dhabi was just a cherry on the top of the ice.
Wow, lovely stuff there. Let's also take a look at what's happened, on the ground here. The final day, the viewing party, BMW Club always coming through, doing their thing real big.
It was fun.
And the exhibition of powerful machines as well.
They make you feel like you ride a horse to work every day.
I mean, with all, today they are out there preaching road safety ahead of the Christmas holidays. And big ups to them. We are sure Korea and his people are already listening in. But it was fun. I mean, the National Blood Bank guys were in. A lot of people came through to donate blood. I know people who just drove in, gave blood, and then went back home or went back their normal duties. So it was fun. It was encouraging. We had a charity car wash. A lot of people got their cars washed and then dirtied again by the BMW drifting back onto their cars. But then again, they had fun. I mean, people love to see those big machines do their own thing.
Great stuff.
Great
stuff. As we go along, let me share some of the messages that are already coming in. Remember, 055-111-1997. Okay, so Mauli Zogbenu says, Oli Pandemic has won the Premier League already by beating Kotoko. They don't mind if at the end of the day they go into relegation. Who cares? They will come back. Oli Pandemic. Hey, Lord. Anyway, so beautiful stuff on ground, and that just gives indications for a big upcoming 2021 season, isn't it?
Yes. Unfortunately, 2020 came with all its drama, and some of the things that we had planned for the whole season couldn't come to fruition. But we're hoping for a more positive 2021. And during that period, hopefully, we will be able to attend some of the events around the world, the F1 events from around the world, and also be able to actively take part. And unfortunately, here you are, you couldn't celebrate and hug somebody. You couldn't high five during some of these races. We just failed to become human beings during some of these races. But 2021, we look we look forward to 2021.
Great stuff there. There are a few things that we should be expecting in the new season, in the 2021 season as well.
Yes. I mean, for instance, next year we have 23 races coming up. In fact, we have 23 viewing parties in Ghana. So it's going to be a very exciting season from day one, and we're getting in new partners. Some are even promising us races with campaigns, on their brands and all that. So, I mean, next year, I see people winning prizes to travel, to some of these races. Top of the mind probably is Italian Grand Prix, right down to probably Austrian and then Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Yeah.
The final race. So it's next year is going to be exciting. I mean, ahead of that, we also have the go-kart league coming up, and we're doing this with the BMW Club, and then it's being championed by the Motorsport Federation of Ghana, where we're going to have the inter-schools go-kart league.
I really am looking forward to the inter-schools one.
Inter-schools go-kart league will be taking the motorsport to the next level. We are trying to develop the talent of the young drivers in the system, and as you know, we already have some young Ghanaians like Louis Apieje, who is in the UK right now, and then Zachary, who is in Japan on a MotoGP and all that.
Sure.
So we also want to develop the local talent from the ages of 8 years going above. So we have a very, very exciting 2021 season coming up in terms of motorsport.
Yeah, but we look forward to 2021. But in 2020, we had the most outdoor screening events. And all of them were extremely successful.
The popular one.
The man who never walks alone.
You'd say that, yes, it was a difficult But during the same period, we had the screenings, the outdoor viewing sessions, and all of them were off the shelf.
I think my favorite one was Mugello Grand Prix at the Labadi Beach Hotel, the car park.
Okay.
Where we started the race, and within 2-3 minutes there were like 3-4 crashes.
We don't go to see the crashes yet. And that was the first time a lot of us didn't understand what was happening, where the race had been suspended and what did it mean. And then you have to go to some of the aficionados just to find out what does this mean.
Are they coming back? Where did they start from? Why are they starting from the pit lane? I mean, it was exciting. I mean, I think the first one was the Labadi Beach.
I think it was just a good reset for all of us just to understand the race again. We got used to it's a normal race. It finishes in normal time. But we saw the suspensions and we all learned.
Yeah. On a more somber note, would like to once again send across our sympathies to the family of Tumult. He was one of our very own. We loved him to bits. He loved his F1, and he was buried yesterday. To his family, we say that may the good Lord just give them strength in this rather trying time. Nasei Bwedi has joined us in his all red. You see, this red is looking more like Kotoko. It's because of what is happening here at Liverpool. After dealing with Mourinho, during the week. But tell me, you also feel that it was an anticlimax to the season?
The results were already known, and it was like a parade.
Okay.
1-3 was a parade. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Let's take this one. Toyin Dania is joining us, from a distance. I was with her a few minutes ago, right? That makes me a very good Formula One driver, Hi to you, Toyin, and glad to know you're tuned in. And for her, she says it's total anticlimax, the last race of the season. The Lewis Camp is the most important. COVID can't keep him down. Thank you very much, Toyin. All right, so Kwabena, already we're looking, forward to what's going to be happening, the transfer market and everything. You tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a done deal. Chaco is joining Red Bull. He won one race last season. He's the most, I'd say, promising driver, and I'm seeing him performing in a good car next season, especially the Red Bull. And so it's going to be exciting. Carlos Sainz is joining Ferrari. Already he's testing his seats and everything. It's going to be exciting. You have one of the fastest drivers in F2 joining AlphaTauri, the Japanese guy. So the Japanese drivers are coming back into F1. Next season is Sebastian Vettel is joining Aston Martin, which was Racing Point, now Aston Martin. And check this, Mercedes has about 4 engines in F1.
I was about to ask, because you see, the drivers are going to be shifting around, playing the whole chess game and everything, but the strength of the engine, the quality of the car is what's going to...
Martin is working with a Mercedes-Benz engine. The Williams team is working with a Mercedes-Benz engine. McLaren is on the Mercedes-Benz engine. Before you have Mercedes itself.
2021 will be 2021.
Now you have Honda. Honda has shown promising in the AlphaTauris this season. And you can imagine what they are bringing, the updates they are bringing next season. You know, mind you, I think the cars are the same for next season. They were supposed to be upgraded, but because of COVID, they are maintaining the same car. So everything will be built on upgrades. And then going into 2021, every single driver looks promising, but then obviously the best cars will be on top of the grid. But you can see some promising and some exciting race coming up next year.
Wow.
You know, 23 races. Some of them are going to be back-to-back. I think we have twice back-to-backs, which will be 3 races at a go. Twice.
Nase, tell me which of the races you're really looking forward to in the 2020 coming season for 2021.
I'm still looking forward to the Bahrain. I mean,
Bahrain, sure.
Bahrain has character.
it has character.
It's taken over from Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I've missed Singapore. So I'm looking at Singapore. I've also missed the South Americans, the Brazilians, and the Mexico Grand Prix. So I'm also looking for those exciting. And mind you, we have 23 races. Saudi Arabia is joining.
Wow.
In Jeddah, and it's going to be a beach track. The tracks are built around the Jeddah beach,
excellent.
so you can imagine we're all looking out for that.
Are those races going to be back to back? Those middle
We
races?
have 6 races which are back to back.
Yeah, so can I go?
Guys, stop pumping the adrenaline.
Especially when we're getting a vaccine possibly next year.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Oh, and talk about happy days. Today also happens to be the birthday of the group CEO and MD of GOIL, Mr. Kwame Osei Prempeh. Happy blessed birthday to you, Mr. Kwame Osei Prempeh. It's from all of us here at Multimedia Group and your staff as well. We love you to bits. And let's continue to do some more business. Mr. Kwame Osei Prempeh, MD of GOIL. Let's do some very good business with the Multimedia Group in the coming year. You know we do it like nobody else, right? Have a wonderful day. Okay, guys, so in wrapping it up, we've had a fairly good season with all the challenges and everything. We've been able to organize ourselves and done great stuff. So obviously a lot is coming when the season reactivates. Sorry.
Okay, so from my side, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners for this season. They've been by us through the pandemic, blah, and all that. I mean, from DSTV, Supersport, amazing guys. You know, they gave us their showrooms, they gave us service, everything, and they gave out a lot of decoders this season. You know, and then we're looking at Labadi Beach Hotel, David and his team, Kennedy and his people, amazing folks at Labadi Beach Hotel, Starbites, Eric and Deborah.
Bleobi David Edwafo.
Amazing guys. Starbites, Eric and his wife hosted us. Sketches and Squire and her team. You know, Red Bull came in at the last minute, but they did very well for us.
And Squire, big shouts to you. You know, I know my card is still lying there somewhere. You know, my discount, and my discount runs into next year.
And then Heineken, Roland and Francis from the Diageo Heineken team, they came on board with Malta Guinness at the last minute as well. So, I mean, these folks were by us throughout this season, and it's been an amazing season. We can't wait to start next season, honestly. As I was saying, motorsport is going to the next level next season. We have a league and we have viewing parties coming up.
Wow, lovely stuff. And talk about the viewing parties. DSTV is a major collaborator. We collaborate a lot with DSTV here at the Multimedia Group as well.
Multimedia guys, you champion people.
Yeah, champion. Charlie, say that again. Say that again.
Yeah.
You see, you have to say it in capital letters. Yeah.
The funny thing is that they are all short except for George. 3 of them are short.
But I'm also short.
No, but you're not in multimedia.
Nat is not short.
Say that again.
Nat is not short.
Thank you very much.
George Ado Jr. Yes.
Your mic is off.
But you guys have done very well. I mean, Nat
Thank you.
Suits presenting the highlights.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And of course, look forward to more. As we go into the new year, Joy Sports very much committed to Formula One, and that very, very big following that we have. There are many latent followers who we're going to bring up. And we're going to be doing a lot of lovely stuff. So, gentlemen, what can I say? Thank you. It's been wonderful. Let's look forward to our first look ahead good conversation for the next season. In the meantime, let's just rest a little bit. But hey, shouts to Doc.
Nana
Nana
Santiago.
yeah.
Nana in Oboshi.
Nana
Green
Oboshi. Yeah.
If you don't
007. Tomorrow never dies.
Oboshi goes to the Valley like twice a week or something like that.
Only Oboshi. Charlie, Nana has to spray that car. Oboshi only. Only Oboshi.
Oli is spiritual now. Turn and look at that screen. There's blue. All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you here. So you have a wonderful time. Nasser Bwedi. Of course, by day he's a strategy person for digital media, and of course marketing communications specialist Kwabna Poku, and of course Ni Amadagadu of DSTV. Ni Amadagadu used to be here, at Joy 99.7 FM. All right, so you get ready so that we can have this conversation. In the meantime, you can send in the messages. Of course, the Olympics accolades continue. I mean, that one would have to run throughout the show, Greetings to all of those who are joining us via our live stream on My Joy Online TV. Remember to prefix with +233 if you're joining us from outside of Ghana with your messages. It's 055-1111-997. So +233 55 11 11 997.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Pastor Donzi, and I bring you greetings from the Church of Christ. This is the day, a new day the Lord has made. Let us be glad and believe in Him. Lord, we thank you for goodness, we thank you for mercies and for giving us beyond what we deserve.
All right, so this is the Joy Sports Link one more time. It's here on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Nathaniel Atto, ably supported by the rest of the Joy Sports team, and we would like to start it off on the on the foundation of athletics, and then we'll get into the Kumasi Asante Kotoko conversation halfway through the show. Now we'll be bringing you a few interviews which we brought you during the week on our various platforms, on our digital platforms and our traditional platforms. Now, George Addo Jr. caught up with Martha Bisa via virtual channel, and they had a conversation. This was after the good news of her her graduation from university. Now, she's been talking about a couple of things, some of the things that matter to her a lot more at this stage of her life and at this stage of her career. She's been talking about wanting to pursue a second degree as well, and wanting to also compete for Ghana again. Well, let's take a quick listen to her, and then we'll take two reactions. One from the Ghana Athletics Association, whose Secretary General says that she has to apologize for what she did wrong, which is to apologize for accusing an executive of, extortion, which she is yet to prove. Well, let's begin with the conversation between George and Martha.
You always start with a step, one step at a time. So maybe he has as a young adult trying to pursue my degree, all this and different background, different environment, from Ghana to different world. It's not easy because you need to adjust to everything. Even the studying, the practice and competition, food, language barrier, everything, that is a lot. It comes with a lot. You have to go through all this process. So it's been a long journey. It is a long journey.
Yeah, wow. You should just tell me how it feels, because your life changed all of a sudden after you won gold in China, and here you are in the US. I mean, when you sit down in your quiet corner, how do you see it all? How are you managing the whole?
I see like a blessing. It was a blessing because God used everything that happened to us in this life, like for a reason, and He make everything that we pass through, whether it's a challenge, everything, it tells us something. Because after the Olympic gold medal, it was a lot that went on, but I thought about it like as a preparation. God was preparing me for something great. So that's what I thought about. And I see like a challenge. And that challenge has really helped me to work so hard. Trust me, it has really helped me work so hard. I may not understand it after first, but now I do understand it. Like all those things, it has really helped me become who I am right now. So when I say it's been a long journey, I know everybody that watching me or listening to me will understand how it feels like to go all the way like 5,000 miles away from your country to get something done or to pursue education or just even a work, just to go to work. It's not an easy journey because you have to go by everything that is around you. You have to put negative aside, and you have to focus on the positive side. So it's all about challenge, and you have to balance both because some positive side may help you, and most of the time people think only the negative thought can help you. It can, but sometimes the negative things about you have to encourage you to work harder. That's what happened to me. So all those bad things, all those challenges, all those negative thoughts, everything that I went through right now has really encouraged me to be the person I am today. Without that, I don't think I will get to this far.
Well, that's brilliant, and it's good to know that you're doing so well. So now let's talk about your athlete life in the US. I know you've won a couple of awards. We have been following that very closely. How would you rate yourself?
I will never rate myself as an average. I think even God will not be happy for that. I would say excellent because it is not easy for you to come here to adjust to everything. It might not seem good to people how it is to get to everything to get. It wasn't an easy achievement. My coach always tell me that you always have to take an action to actualize your eviction, because eviction without an action becomes a nightmare. So I always make sure I go with that word. It's a big word that he said, and he said that to the extent that I never give up. I'm always somebody who keep working towards something that I want to achieve, whether it is hard. I see it like even if it is hard, you have to keep pushing. So I keep pushing myself. I keep encouraging myself. I keep thinking I keep putting negative things aside of me and then focus on the negative part. And everything I need to improve, I have to improve everything that I'm doing and keep moving. Sometimes it seems to be far, but when you keep working towards it, get closer. So I'm blessed with my athletics career right now. I'm blessed with people around me, blessed with everything I've gone through and everything that has happened and what is about to happen. So I will never grade myself like an average athlete. I'm good, and I can't even say excellent. Let me say excellent because it has not been easy to be 3 times All-American. And I think like 8 times All-MEAC champions and 4 times outstanding performer, both indoor and outdoor, and then cross country. So it's a great achievement. And I'm proud of myself. I don't wait for anybody to tell me that, oh, you are. I'm really proud of myself so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the confidence. That's good. That's good to hear. Are we going to, I mean, for most people, they saw you when you were very young, when you were able to win Olympic gold, the Youth Olympic Championship. You know, everybody was excited about it. A lot of Ghanaians want to see you do more. What do you have to say to these Ghanaians? I mean, who want to see you back competing for Ghana, want to see you at the World's Athletics Championships and all of that? What do you have to tell these Ghanaians?
I know. I thank them for believing in me. It is not easy. People still believe in me, and I like that because they see it. It's like my school motto. He say, "We see the future in you." They see the future in me. They still don't doubt about that. And all I have to tell them is, the good is yet about to come. Everything is a process. Sometimes people forget that before Usain Bolt became Usain Bolt, he has to pass through a lot. Usain Bolt have to go through a lot. Like, he has to practice. You need to put on the work. Like, it's not a one-day journey. For now, I'm done with my first degree. I'll have my second degree on on market this coming spring. So I'm not going to put down my education right now, but I will put it down a little bit and focus on the track, fully on the track. So that's what I have to prove to my people and my fans, that I'm still there. I'm still Matabisa that I used to know. She will still come back. It's not like I guess I have to wake up just a day and come back and run faster. I have to prepare myself. It's a journey. So they will see Matabisa again. I'm trying so hard. Like, let me say, I'm working hard. My practice and everything, my techniques, people that are around me, they are putting everything together. So when I see people around me, Mr. Hidaro George Lutrot, Mr. Kwakuni Mako, who's no Asrewa, my coaches. So all these people around me, they're encouraging me, and I know they've been there for me all these years. I'll talk about them.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Well, so you heard Martha Bisa. She says that she is still the Martha Bisa that we all know, and she is ready to work on herself and become better. So, as I mentioned, we will have here the General Secretary of the the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, who's also the president of the Ghana Arm Wrestling Federation, and more importantly as well, because of this discussion, an athlete manager who has vast experience in this area and some of these stories as well. She mentioned Mr. George Lutrot, who is a former president of the Ghana, or former chairman of the Ghana Athletics Association. Well, let's take a listen to him and his piece of advice.
Congratulate Martha, because it has not been easy for her. But I'm glad she's come out with flying colors, both in the academic and in the athletic. So I think it's a great day for her. We can be nothing but happy for her. I keep telling her, get your degree. The athletics comes second. There'll be no athletes who are loyal to Ghana, who are suffering today. If when they had their education, they will not be suffering the way they are suffering. So I'm very happy for Martha that she has taken her study seriously. And she can go on and on. I she wants to do her master's now. Good luck to her. We'll go back here. If the GA says she is not going to run for Ghana, it's their prerogative. They are not damaging, they are not hurting her. She has nothing to prove anymore. Her name is written in history. Cast in stone. They can't do anything. But to me, the GA is behaving like Pharaoh, the old Egyptian Pharaoh. God said, let my people go. He said, no. The Ghanaian people are saying, let her run. And they are saying no. What I can say is that there is a God up there. Inshallah, there is a God up there. And he's watching. And we'll see whether the GA itself will prosper.
Ending on a rather controversial note. Now, this is a man who previously led this association, and he says, well, if they don't let Martha in, would see if God will make them prosper. Pretty strong there. Very, very strong. Okay, so let's take a listen to the side of the Ghana Athletics Association, and then we come here into the studio to take the thoughts of Charles Osesibe, who's the General Secretary of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana and also an athlete manager.
An athlete goes to allege that the federation is demanding money for her, and the federation asks every wrestling member will ask, who asks you for that money? Come substantiate that allegation. If you think what you said wasn't right, simple I'm sorry will end the whole matter. Imagine that allegation is still hanging on the federation, and the federation executive goes for a higher interview at a place, maybe some other place, and that issue comes out. Why were you taking bribe from an athlete to give you a scholarship? How will you answer? Will you say it is not true? Why should it is not true? Because the person who alleged that have never come out to say whether it is true or it is not true. So the thing will still be hanging. And why will you bite the finger that fits you? Everybody has an ego. Everybody has a dignity to protect. Those that the allegation were put on them, don't they have dignity? Don't they have integrity?
Well, big questions asked by the Secretary General of the Ghana Athletics Association, Ba Fuseni, who's a former athlete himself and who was here in the studio just last week. Well, Charles, thank you so much for making the time. We do appreciate that we had to cut into your meeting, a swag meeting, which you're a key part of, to be here for this conversation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
And,
SWAG, President and the General Assembly, to
sure,
yourself,
the writer. Sure.
and all the members in this house who are
Sure.
SWAG members,
Sure.
and especially to Jerome,
who swerved the meeting.
who is a proud SWAG member.
Yeah.
Well, this is a service to the nation. He actually didn't swerve.
Yeah.
He's come to help.
So
he
on the
didn't
minutes,
swerve.
it will be marked as
we
present.
appreciate his writings. We appreciate his support
Great.
and everything for SWAG.
Great.
I remember the last time we traveled to Eastern Region to go and inaugurate. He was there with us.
Very well.
Yes, he was there with us, and he stayed through.
Very well.
Just that the other matters he didn't consider us.
We will discuss them after the show. Charles, always good to see you. I miss us traveling together as well. Let's talk about that. Toki, let's talk about that later. So you've heard the thoughts. Initially, what hits you when you listen to the kind of vibe that's going on? Martha Bisa is on one hand talking about wanting to return, and then talking about how there's politics within the athletics body. And then a previous chairman who is affiliated to Martha is saying, look, let that matter go and let the girl run. And then the association is also saying, look, we are a credible association. We cannot let this go on the basis of principle. She has alleged and she must prove. Otherwise, then come and apologize. Otherwise, we're not listening to you.
Mr. Ato, nothing really hits me, but I see people taking advantage of situations and then trying to play politics. But first of all, I just want to congratulate Martha Bisa and then say that sometimes misfortunes becomes blessings. I'm sure that if this issue had not come up, she would seriously be probably in the tracks rather than concentrating on academics.
Okay.
So some misfortunes sometimes turn up blessings. But this is my opinion to the whole issue. Now, remember I have said that I do not see this as an issue. But the challenge is that the adage in Twi, payin ifie. So because there are no elders in the house, we find ourselves in this situation. Nat, you recall that culturally, when Jerome offends me, whether it's an accusation or indeed he offended me, when we want peace in the house, culturally, you'll be told, Panacho. Jerome will do that and there will be peace. Sometimes under protest, Jerome strongly feels that he wasn't wrong. But culturally, he's asked to say sorry and then you move on. I'm sure people will be comparing our culture as against that of Europe. But you see, we are Ghanaians, we are Africans, things are done differently. So I am saying that somebody must give Martha Bisa a wise counsel. She is not getting the right counsel, that's why she's become sort of pompous, moving around with pride. In 2014, you competed for Ghana in China. Then, gracefully, you won a gold medal. You rose to fame. Now, I know that the Professor Dodu administration during that period had embarked on a program to resuscitate track and field. So they were taking some young athletes into Europe and America. And I think they made a proposal to Martha. Now, at some point, Martha supposedly was said to have made a statement. Athletics Association says that it's an allegation. So come and apologize. How many years? 5, 6 years. The girl has refused to apologize. Now, but for she being a minor, I'm sure they would have taken her to court. But for she being a minor, they would have taken her to court to substantiate the alleged statement. But they looked on. The Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Ghana Olympic Committee and all got involved. And the conclusion was that the girl indeed had said something untoward. She feels, indeed if she said it and she feels that was what happened, it is a case. But elders sat and said, look, come say sorry. She refused to do that. I have handled such a case before. But you see, everything we're discussing today, Nat, it's irrelevant.
Why?
I have said that two things are likely to happen. The most important thing Martha Bisa must do is to concentrate on her track and field career and become a better athlete. As we speak, she is not Ghana's number one. As we speak, Martha Bisa is ranked around 300 in 800 meters in Africa. She's ranked around 300. As we speak, she is in the thousands in the world. So, if Martha Bisa decides to let her performance speak for her, and she becomes the best in Ghana, and she becomes top ranked in Africa, two things will happen. One, the federation wanting her to compete may call her, let's move on and get her to compete. It's likely to happen. Secondly, sometimes elders in this country or on the land will call the federation, you know. I'm sure there'll be a way out. As we speak, Martha is not there. So why do we worry our head over Kopacho, Kopacho, and I won't apologize? I'm saying that, first of all, this girl must concentrate on her performance. Otherwise, I will not speak to it. Apologies. She's not a top-ranked athlete for us to worry our head instead of concentrating on other burden athletes. That is one point. That is why I'm not speaking for the association, but I'm saying that Martha must let her performance speak for her. Because when she gets to that level, a lot of people will be involved. Tempers will come down, and I'm sure we will get her to compete. She's not there yet. She should concentrate on her track and field career, run better times, become the top athlete in Africa, ranked in the world, so that people can speak for her. But her refusal to say, I'm sorry, will not take her anywhere. It is not often about convictions and what you think is right or wrong. Sometimes you learn to say sorry to let things go so you can have your peace. I don't know the reason for which we are where we are. There is no wise counsel going to Martha Bisa. Not. It is worrying for you to invest in young athletes, for them to rebel against you. It is worrying. I don't want to mention names, but I handled an athlete we invested so much in, came to sit on radio here because she misbehaved. Same trip, China. She went on international media to say that the country owes her some per diem, and that if it is not paid, she will kill herself and all that.
Wow. She threatened to commit suicide.
She threatened to commit suicide.
Yes, I remember.
She said a lot of things. Then we said, hey, you are wrong. You cannot go on that platform to disgrace your nation. Go and say sorry. Reverend ministers and all top officials came in. She refused to say sorry. Eventually, the federation said, okay, if you won't say sorry, you can't train with us. We can't have anything to do with you. She comes to sit on a platform here and says all sort of things against the federation and officials who had invested in her career. It is worrying. Not. But you see, the point is, if we do not reprimand in discipline athletes, people get to certain levels and they feel that they're on top of the world. They get in discipline if they are not well managed. if we do not check them, or we do not punish them or discipline them for the wrongs they do, we cannot manage any quality athlete in this country. Because if Kwame does it and you don't reprimand, Jerome will come do same, and you cannot reprimand.
Charles Osesibe here on the Joy Sports link with his thoughts. I don't know what yours are until you send them to me. 055-1111-997. Jerome Otri is also here. He's monitored this long-running story, which has now entered another chapter, over the years. Jerome, I don't know what your thoughts are. I mean, on one hand, some people are saying, the girl has to apologize. Some are also saying, look, you this federation cry, you people are always doing a lot of politics and all of that. Let me just quickly do this message from Steve NT. Steve says, why are they fascinated? He says he disagrees with the thoughts initially, and he says, why are they fascinated with an apology if they genuinely believe they did nothing wrong? You don't say sorry if you did no wrong. Okay, thanks for that message. Jerome.
I have to confess that I have been confused by a lot of the narratives on the Martha Bisa issue, because I cannot really place my head exactly where the issue is and who is at fault and who is not at fault. In that case, it's very difficult to have a strong opinion, because you listen to one side and you think that this makes sense. You listen to the other side and you are about to dismiss what you heard earlier. My whole view is this: if it's about an apology, I have this attitude of always letting certain things go, because in this life we came with nothing and we go with nothing. Sometimes, in as much as I believe that principles must be held, I mean, you must hold your principles as tightly as you can. Sometimes it doesn't make sense keeping on to certain things if it will create problems. I've listened to the girl, and I have to say that she doesn't convince me. She doesn't. I mean, this week I was listening to her. I listened to George's interview, and it didn't really move me. I have listened to other side of the story, and I'm lost between the lines, not knowing where to place an opinion. And for me, maybe I should just enjoy listening to them till such a time that the issues will become very clear to me. But if I am a member of an association, and the association feels I have done something they don't like, in as much as I want to hold on to what I think I may have done right, not in the interest of peace, and that's my attitude. In the interest of peace, I will apologize and move on. Because you see, you won't lose anything. This tango over this one has done this one is accusing this, it will not change the fact that Ghana still is unable to put athletes properly where athletes should be. It doesn't change that fact. In fact, anytime the Olympic Games, for instance, is coming on, I mean, the last one could not come on because of COVID. But next year, August, if it is coming on, you are so certain that regardless of the number of athletes Ghana will send, there will be no gold. I mean, you are certain of that. So instead of focusing on the things that, for instance, will put athletes right up there and maybe win medals for us, we are here more or less haranguing over who has hurt who and who must apologize and who shouldn't apologize. I think if it is possible, like my senior Charles just said, Martha is not in the ranks of any I mean, where she is now is either we forget about her or we concentrate on building up other athletes and see what they can bring to the nation. Because for me, this matter will not end as anything. It will not bring anything to the nation. let us look at what we can do with the Athletics Association or whichever association is involved in this, how their work will impact on sports development in the country, and leave some of these issues out. I mean, it will not add anything to what we want as a sports nation or as a country committed to developing sports. It will not. I agree that when there are issues with athletes, maybe if they are aggrieved as an association, you have to deal with it. But I'm saying that one person cannot also hold the whole association and behave as if without him or her nothing can go on. That sort of attitude is something that should not be entertained anywhere. So for me, if it's possible, the Athletics Association and all those who matter in it should just forge ahead and leave this matter somewhere. Charles said something about the fact that if she wasn't a juvenile then, they would have taken her on. Well, I don't know what the law says, but I thought there was there are juvenile courts to deal with juveniles who do things that are not right or that really infringes on the law. Sure. I mean, if those avenues are there or were there, they could have probably explored it. But I'm saying that this matter will not take the Athletics Association anywhere. They may want to set certain things right. Which is
what I wanted to ask you, because you see, when you listen to Bawaf Hussaini, he's going along the tangent of integrity. We know what failing integrity tests. I mean, the kind of cost that has come with failing integrity tests. I mean, in this recent Ghana FA election, we saw what happened with CAS and all of that.
In fact, Russia yesterday there was a news. In the story in the system that Russia may not be able to participate because CAS rejected their appeal or something. So the point you are building about integrity is key. I mean, it's very important. We cannot, as a group, seeking to project a certain agenda. The integrity of that group is critical to everything you want to do, because the public is out there watching us or monitoring what we are doing and thinking that, but these are not people you can trust. So why should we even waste our time on them? So I understand the point about integrity, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, what is it that we want to achieve with athletics in the country, such that we would continue to discuss a matter that is how many years old?
Matters matter.
Yes, matters matter. About 4 or 5 years now. We are still on it. And it's not taking us anywhere. I think that if it is possible, the Athletics Association should just shun this issue and keep their focus. No single individual, whether sports or whatever, can hold Ghana to ransom. You cannot. I mean, and we haven't, it's not as if we've not seen athletes or sportsmen and women before. We've seen, I mean, check the various sporting disciplines. There are greats that today we celebrate some of them. So for me, it will be important for us to keep our focus on the agenda of developing athletics, rather than bringing in these matters that at the end of the day do not really change anything.
Interesting thoughts there, Charles.
Nat, you see, on integrity, I think it's important, especially in the era where sponsorship is so difficult for sports. Sports sponsorship doesn't come easy. So you go to Joy FM or Multimedia, can you partner me to run some Grand Prix athletics in Ghana? Then they are like, we had this statement about you by a girl, blah, 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 blah. You haven't cleared yourself. And it becomes an issue.
But how do you
becomes
clear
an
yourself in a matter like this?
Well, but the young lady is being asked to say sorry for what you said, if indeed. In fact, I'm told that in one of the meetings, she admitted. But the sorry is the challenge.
Basinia, you see, it is so because maybe she's not a type that will accept wrongdoing easily. My position is this: if indeed she's admitted to what you are saying,
we just let go.
Yes, let it go.
Yeah, but the platforms you use, people believe in that. Yeah, but Jerome, you see, where this young girl is coming from, I'm saying that if indeed she wants a career in the track and field area, the needful thing, boss, I'm sorry, I got angry, blah 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 blah. Then you move on. The needful. Sometimes there's an adage in Akan. So indeed, if you want to do track and field,
maybe she's not interested in doing.
Within you know that you are either being gagged or you are being forced to say sorry. But because of what you want to achieve and do, you must just let's go. Jerome, Nat.
Yeah.
In the last 4 years, the story of track and field is phenomenal. And it is for us to highlight the good things the people have done so we can encourage others, other young athletes.
So that's what I'm saying.
Just last year or this year, there was a certain Rose Enima-Yeboah, 18-year-old, who became an African champion in high jump, University of Ghana student.
You see,
in the last 4 or 5 years, about 40 track and field athletes are in the universities graduating. It is no news. Matter is news.
It is because she won Ghana our very first Olympic medal.
Oh, Nati.
Our very first, I beg your pardon, our very first Olympic gold medal at the Junior Olympics.
Emphasis on that.
Yes, at the Junior Olympics. So,
but Jerome said something.
All the things my senior is saying is true. My position is this now. Now I will make this clear.
Now you have a position.
Now you are more or less enlightening me, opening my eyes to the kind of things the Athletics Association is doing. And if you are doing these things and you are saying the focus is not on it, it is because you have chosen to keep the focus on matter. Who, as you are saying, is not bent on saying sorry.
But Jerome, I do not think the Athletics Association speaks to the matter. It is the people around matters matter.
but
the people guys, around matter who would always push things around. The Athletics Association are concentrating on sponsorship and development. And like I said, as I speak, one of the things, I mean, what I'm going to do anyway in America too, Professor Dodu and all the things people said about him, his leadership, when they came, they realized that the fortunes of track and field was dwindling. Because then was when Vida and him had decided not to compete again. Geza was leaving, Harriadun Fuma and all those guys. Then they realized that if we do not build a future, we'll be in trouble. So many of the senior high athletes, they took them to Europe, and then they also decided to recruit some other foreign nationals to come and compete for Ghana. Today, you have the Azamatis and Co. winning 4x100 meters finals in Africa Games. It is not the first of its kind, but you see that there's a future for track and field. Like Jerome is suggesting, if they can do without the young girl, they should focus on development and move on. But I feel that the young girl must just say sorry.
Yeah, but you see,
and improve on her performance.
How many years now?
5 or 6 years.
And she's not saying sorry. Okay. Leave her. Ignore her.
So say sorry. Say sorry
and improve on your performance.
Okay, say sorry, improve on your performance, or just leave the matter and go.
Yes,
it's two sides to the matter, and that's as simple as it is.
If she's not doing that, ignore her.
Okay,
and keep on with your work.
All right, let's do this message. This is a message.
Then we'll go and say, Jordan.
Yeah,
you're not Jordan, are you?
Yeah, let's do a message from from Wilson in Capitol Hill. He says Mr. Lutrot has missiled Martha, and he's continuing to cause the girl to be recalcitrant. Mr. Lutrot is encouraging indiscipline. Okay, thank you very much, Wilson. Okay, now, there's this other one that says, in fact, I was totally annoyed when Oli beat my darling club Legon Cities, but now I know that the Oli boys are simply fantastic after beating the overhyped Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Evans Goku, Nananom inside Mepe in the Volta region. And he says, please read my message. Oh, I have read your message. Now, this is this. Oh, right. So let me just try to scroll down a bit here and get the full part of this message. It says, anytime Agosu beat Kotoko, they sack their coach. Agosu, sweet pa. Thank you very much for the message. Please make sure to sign your messages when you send them in. Okay. Now, Okay, let's quickly take a look at this one. Having a bit of a difficulty here trying to scroll down the messages. I'll come back to them. But it's very clear. You can also send in your messages. I'll be glad to have them. Kelly Nosu says Accra Great Olympics all the way. Thank you very much for that message. 055-1111-997 055-1111-997. Time to get into Kumasi Asante Kotoko and the seeming troubles that they are encountering. Well, so during the week, we heard the exit of Coach Maxwell Konadu, and this is following some not so consistent results. Just last night, we heard of the resignation of PJ Moses Intribinifo, who is in charge of communications for the club. Now, there's a lot of rumor. There's loads of conversations going on about possible mass resignations in the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and all of that. What seems to be the problem? Jerome, what is happening in the camp of Asante Kotoko?
In his club.
In your club?
Well, before I answer the question, let me say that before coming here, I had a chat with the special assistant to the CEO, David, and he said the stories about mass resignation or other management members likely to leave are not true. So we should assure the fans, or the fans should rest assured that yes, indeed, PJ has left for personal and professional reasons, as he said, but the rest are staying put and they will focus on doing the Kotoko job as expected from the leaders of the club. You know, what is happening to some of us doesn't really come as a surprise, because over the period that some of us have been around, it's always been that if the team isn't getting results on the field of play, it creates some amount of agitation within the supporters. And that agitation is transferred back to the management, which eventually causes the management to take decisions such as the one they have taken. And I have said that if you say Maxwell Konadu has played 4 matches, 1 in Africa and 5 matches, 1 in Africa and 4 in the local scene, and for that matter, he's not done so well, so for that matter, he should be sacked. I won't begrudge you, because coaches are always judged by the results they chalked. So I'm not begrudging those who think that it's okay to sack Maxwell Konadu because of the results he's recorded. Where my problem lies is with why we are not looking at what I call a systemic problem of not managing the playing body well. And I have said that it would be unfair to be hard on Nanaya because he just came. And it would be fair to judge him after a full season, where, for instance, when it comes to recruitment, some of the mistakes that we have, committed and keep committing, if he repeats them, then you can say we didn't go anywhere. But just as he has started, and unfortunately, he also did what some of us have termed as wrong. And that is what I think we are paying for right now. Here is the problem. As long as you decide to take away 10 or more players from the previous team, going into the new season, there are little chances that the new team that you have put up for the new season will perform to expectation. Unfortunately, this is not something we have always accepted. But if we are to go back to, say, the last 5 seasons, this is so typical of Asante Kotoko that we go into the new season with a different set of players, most likely with a new coach. If he's lucky, he will finish the season. If he is not, he's sacked in the course of the season. And going into the season after, we'll repeat the same attitude of bringing in more players with a new coach. And I'm saying that because of that consistent attitude of not being able to maintain a team over one season, we cannot have our team playing cohesively, playing consistently, such that you won't see the kind of performance we saw against Great Olympics. And it's, to tell you the truth, it's one of the drab games I have seen Kotoko play in a long while. There was no creativity in our play, nothing. You're just trying to do something just to, end the game. And that's not the kind of Kotoko we want to see. So for me, I think we probably could have waited a little and allow Maxwell to travel somehow into the season. And then, if the results continue like that, you really look at what it is that is making the team play such that after, say, 10, 15 matches, results are still the same. But 4 games with the problems I have cited, where in a setup you have 7 to 8 new players in a team of 11 players, you cannot have the kind of performance you expect. And the teams we are playing against, some of them have tested performers. Gladson Awako, Great Olympics. He's been on the local scene for a long time, left, came back, and he's still who he is. Such a performer against Asante Kotoko will always take the shine. He would want to do something so that people know, look, I am still who I have been. And that's what we saw. This morning I've been talking about Karela FC's Taylor. That striker.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
Excellent player. I have been asking some of my friends, how come Karela is able to keep that striker for 3 seasons, but Kotoko cannot? It is because of how we manage our setup. We bring in more players. Just before the season starts, we ship in the same number of players. And these players take time to settle. I don't want to go into why I think we didn't have Blay or Maxwell Bakun and the rest. I don't want to go into that. We've crossed that path. But I'm saying that these are players who performed for a maximum of, say, 10 months. They were able to establish themselves. They were able to give us a certain level of performance, which supporters largely agreed that this performance is good for the club. Now, you go into the new season with these key performers out of the team.
Well, very, very, insightful thoughts being made here by Jerome Otre, and I know that you also have your thoughts. There is this one from I Am Success PK in Dakuman, Koda Street. He says, "Hi Nat, I was happy when Asante Kotoko lost, but sad when Maxwell Kunedu was sacked. Anyway, wishing my darling club, Glorious Accra Hearts of Oak, a win in their game against Kumasi King Faisal." Thank you very much for that message. 055 1111997 055 1111997. Charles, is from where you sit, how worried are you about this situation within Asante Kotoko? For me, I've monitored what's been happening in this new era, what is looking like a new era. The level of organization, the seeming direction, and all of that, and then you get these, get these exits and all.
I'm worried for 2 reasons.
Okay.
One, we all know that when Kotoko is not playing well, it somehow affects Ghana football. The excitement, contribution to national team, and all that, it affects us. It affects the league. The second reason too is that the kind of leadership I see, I've said that they must not fail Kotoko. If they fail, then nobody, it will be a difficulty to get somebody or a group of team to run Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Yesterday I was with a top army official. Then he asked why we're not making any noise about the satellites performance or the satellites gaming.
At the ongoing WAFU tournament. Yes.
Then I said sometimes it's good to start low, no expectation. You come up with surprises and then people are happy. Number one, Kotoko's problem, and it hurts me. I have a solid relationship with almost the entire leadership, management of Kotoko. But I'm speaking as a journalist. The hype at the beginning was too much. So, yes, and it hurts me. I'm being frank. I'm being frank. So,
no, but
so
considering also that you're a journalist and you're a communicator, you know that the hype is also required because of
it depends on how you manage your communication and branding PR. Now, because of the way things were done, expectation went so high. So high. So obviously, when you go to the field of play, people expect you to bring results. Per the promises and the branding and the team and sponsor, everything. People expect so much from you. Now, remember, when Herbert took over Kotoko, he had a team. He went on a recruitment spree. Now, the simple communication, I have just taken over, I'm rebuilding.
Sure.
So even when he was winning, he was bragging, I'm rebuilding. I'm rebuilding. So anytime he lost, people took it that he was actually rebuilding. Nobody took Herbert on anytime he lost a game.
Because he's rebuilding.
Because he's rebuilding.
And in this case, we've been told that the CAF Champions League...
Indeed, Nana Yao is rebuilding.
But
they give a different impression.
Yeah, but he has he's talking about the CAF Champions League as well.
I'm saying that to win. Sometimes you lie low.
Yeah.
And begin to let your performance speak
for you. Okay.
Even though you have communicated that I'm rebuilding, the results begin to show, then people are like, this guy is a champion manager. This guy knows what he's about. But when you promise so much and you don't deliver, then you put pressure on yourself. I do not think he has done anything wrong. He's a young man. I believe with his team, they can run Kotoko, but they promised too much. Aside that, Jerome said that it's a sort of new team or a mix-up team. One major problem with Kotoko and Hearts is that at the end of a season, they will put out about 10, 15 of their key players and recruit. First of all, who does that business? That at the end of the season, Joy FM will say, Nat, go, we bring Jerome for the brand you have built, the consistency, the added value. They let you go. And then a new manager comes, he says, I want to work with Jerome. And then there's no structure, system to insist that Nat must stay. So Nat leaves, Jerome comes to start all over again. How many times have you seen Mediema doing this to their team? Have you seen Karela do same? Even Chelsea, who believes in a catch them young policy. How often do you see them do that? But consistently Kotoko and Hearts in the last 6 seasons.
More than that.
In the last 6 seasons. So when do you get teamwork? When do you get teamwork? When you get the kind of results you need to perform. I think that they took a hasty decision in parting ways with Maxwell. Jerome Riley said, sometimes give him more matches. Probably, it's ill luck in the season for the coach. So when he has played more matches and is not working, it doesn't mean he's a bad coach. It means there's something wrong somewhere. Then you can take that decision. But you don't just get up and say that my coach is gone. Probably the problem is not the coach. Let's move out of the coach's zone. Where is the Keita boy?
He's around, and Maxwell. I asked him this question.
And the Brazilian chap.
I asked about the last game. I asked Maxwell about where they were. And his answer was that it's a matter of documentation. Keita, for example, has to, I think, renew his residence permit or his work permit. And it is no fault of the club or the coach that it is delaying. You can put pressure on the system to get it done for you. But if you are not getting it, you can't feel the player. Same as the Brazilian. You see, these are some of the things I think should have been taken into consideration. That there are some key performers that we are expecting. I mean, these are players that we think are good. Are good. So see how they will perform or what they will add to the team. If it's still not working, then you try something else. That aside, there are some of the players too who have been injured, who are not playing, who are not giving what we expect of them. So this whole thing of, okay, it is the coach, get him out, bring a new coach. The new coach will face the same challenge of new players trying to settle in the team. The other time, I have not liked the way the fans have been on this boy, Adomako. But the reality is that the ordinary Kotoko fan, seeing a player in the setup not performing, will always talk about the player. So somebody like Adomako is struggling to impress. A new coach will have to work on him to get him to the level that he will deliver. The point is that all these things take time. So if we will always go this way, and you see, Nat, this is what we have always done. Check from the time Didi Dramani came. Didi won the double. One of the few coaches to have done that for Kotoko in a very long time. The following season, 5-6 matches into the season, he wasn't getting results. He was sacked. Duncan came in, emergency situation. He was able to stabilize the front. He eventually did well. The team got into Africa. Same way, 5-6 matches into the season, he was sacked. This trend has continued. In fact, maybe Maxwell is lucky because of COVID and all the problems that came in. He wasn't exposed that well. So now that we are back to, say, the normal game, the normal things, 4 matches into the season, he's sacked. This cannot continue. You see, it has to end somewhere. We must begin to build some confidence in the system we have at the club, that if this is how we want to go, always bringing in new players in massive numbers, then allow the players to settle. Because the players that the fans are accusing of not having the temperament to play for Kotoko, that temperament will not come in a matter of days.
No.
It will take time. He will need to develop that confidence. People are saying, well, but I mean, for Asante Kotoko, we don't have the time or the patience for players to grow. Then, when the players come and they settle, like the way Maxwell Baku and the rest did, we must be able to keep them. That is something we have not done. If we are able to do it, maybe things will change. But if we go the same way of always reacting this way because results are not coming, we are going to have difficulties. And I'm just hoping that tomorrow, for instance, as we get ready to play Dreams FC, Wednesday, for instance, as we wait for Al Hilal, and I've seen pictures of their arrival, they are in town. As we get ready to play these matches, we should have it at the back of our minds that we cannot win. We cannot win all the time. We do not have that side that has what it takes to give us the kind of results we want immediately. Certain things will have to be done in a certain way to get us results. Now, my last point, Charles mentioned the hype. See, as for the hype, you can't do anything about it. The fans will always react in a certain way once they see you doing what they like. As for the hype, they will even come to you and tell you you are doing well. And when it's not good, they are the same people who will tell you. My problem, however, and I'm not seeking to blame anyone in particular, but the entire system at the club, is what Charles mentioned. We know that a lot of things are new at the club. We do not have to raise expectations to a certain level. And you alluded to it when you mentioned Africa. I mean, I'm not taking the CEO on, but I have had people who read some of the things I write will tell you that I've had a problem with creating the feeling that we are in Africa to achieve what we've not done before. It is not possible. I mean, sometimes we have to be real and make our fans believe that this is the situation and this is how we want to deal with it. But when you raise it to a certain level and you cannot get up to that level, the fans will come back telling you, you told us you would do it and you are not doing it. You know, so these are some of the things we have to look at. I mean, for 14 years, Kotoko have not been in the group stage of the Champions League. And if you are out there telling us that we are going to do what we have not done before, you know, they will look back and tell you, you promised it. So if you don't deliver, then take whatever we are giving you.
Let me do these messages now. This one is from Eugene. He says, Kotoko buy top players from all clubs in Ghana. Why do they blame bad players? Why do they become bad players when they join Kotoko? Our coaches are complacent and overpampered. They want an easy way out. With 3 coaches, I can't see any individual development in the players. Why? One of our targets for the new coach is that he should develop the players we have currently and that no new player will be purchased. We saw how Frank Lampard of Chelsea developed the skills of younger players. They are star players now. For Maxwell Kunedu, he didn't have any good coaching plan for Kotoko. This was evident from match day 1 after 8 weeks of expensive preseason. I mean 8 weeks of preseason and now 5 weeks into the season. How? That's the question Eugene is asking here on the show. You also send your messages. Now, these are based on our earlier, conversation on athletics. Now, this one is from Felix in Ohio. He says, look, Charles' comments bring to mind this story where I single-handedly held the hands of 2 female footballers and went through hell to secure them visas to school in the US after the embassy had refused them twice on the same scholarship, only for one of them to have the impetus to insult me on Facebook later because I'd asked why she didn't invite me to her wedding with a Black Stars player and that she has forgotten about me so soon. I tell people, if you want to help a sports person, put it in writing, otherwise your money, use your money to eat banku and tilapia instead. Okay, thank you very much. This other one is from Wilson in Cantonments. Jerome didn't do justice to the Martha Bisa matter. Jerome should know that it is not the best policy to be nice to everybody all the time. Jerome is convinced that the Ghana Athletics Federation has a case, but Jerome is forcing to hold brief for the indiscipline matter. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for your message. 055 1111997. In a bit, we'll activate the phone line so that you can also join us with your thoughts as we discuss Kumasi Asante Kotoko and what seems to be happening with our athletes and why some of these stories always keep coming up. Okay. Now, this one is from Joseph in Community 9 in Tema. He says, good afternoon. I think Kotoko should have to take a second look at the dealings with Coach Maxwell Kunedu. Okay, thank you very much, Ajima Joseph in Community 9 in Tema. Now, before anyone blames Nanayo Amponsa for firing Maxwell Kunedu, the individual should just understand that, number one, his management didn't appoint him. Maxwell has been poor and one-man match out of his 8. Maxwell has been in charge of the team for a little over a year. No clear sign of improvement. His winning rate is even less than 45%. This is from Latte in Choco. Thank you very much, Latte, for that message. Okay. This one says, good afternoon, Nat. This is Tofik from Ho. It's good to see Great Olympics doing so well. I'm just looking forward to the Accra Derby, Hearts of Oak versus Olympics. But it will be so unfortunate without supporters at the stadium. When management keeps buying players for the coaches, and are expecting the coach to put in his best without any patience, even though the preseason with the players. Well, okay, thank you very much for that message, and keep them coming. So at this point, I always keep asking. Now, where are we going to go from here? Before that, let me just read these other ones as well. Nana Wusu in Takrady says, Nat, your pundits have made their points, though. But Ashanti Gold and Olympics have virtually new teams, but they are playing beautiful football and scoring goals as well. We have most of our players from the truncated league season still to date. Maxwell has had a preseason with the players and his tactical performance is so low, he shot himself in the foot. Nanayo Amponsa and management don't need to be blamed. We can only blame them when the welfare logistics are not catered for. But that is not the case. Okay, thank you for that message. This is from my namesake Nat in Doha in Qatar. It says, Nat, the problem is the coach because he was buying players that he didn't need. Now take a look at their goalkeeping department instead of the supporters protesting that they were okay. Instead of the pro, okay, let me start all over again. Now he says that the problem is with the coach because he was buying players he didn't need. Take a look at the goalkeeping department, and instead of the supporters protesting that they weren't happy, they were saying it will bring competition. Also, a lack of a creative midfielder. Okay, these are the points brought by Nat, who's listening from Doha in Qatar. Okay, guys, I mean, I don't know, where do we go from here?
Nat, we only pray that the decision taken by Kumasi Asante Kotoko becomes a good one. We hope that they win this weekend, and then I'm sure the fans will get back to the club and, push them to win more matches. But my question is, apologies to the Kotoko fans, but why worry? Because your neighbors are equally not doing well.
No, we don't care about
No,
we don't care about them.
No, they are worried because we play in a league where if you have to win the league, you start from match 1.
Oh, of course, that one.
You start from match
that
1.
is true.
So when it's not going well, every supporter will obviously be worried. And that's why you see the agitation from Kotoko supporters. But I've heard people blaming or not blaming management, others are blaming the coach. Truth is, if there's a solid policy, and I hope that Nanaya will take a cue from this. Nobody is blaming Nanaya. But there should be a recruitment policy so that when Coach A leaves and Coach B comes, they work with the same policy. They stick to it. Because it seems either every season the club will change players, or any coach that comes would recruit another set of Kotoko squad. It is something we should be mindful of. If we do not check these things, it will be difficult for our clubs to do well locally and in Africa. Now, somebody used 2 clubs as Olympics and Ashanti Gold, having recruited new players. Ashanti Gold is not entirely true. Ashanti Gold is not correct. Even Olympics, when last did that texter see Olympics? These are boys, majority they brought from Division 1.
From Division 1, that is very true.
These are boys, they have played together over a period of time. And that's what we're saying, consistency, keep the boys. Kotoko, before the commencement of the league, or before Nana took over, had some quality players. What changed? Because if you say Kotoko only buys the best players from the country, you had a best player in your team, you let him go. I do not believe Kotoko would have been unable to offer. They could match that offer, but they let him go. So let's name the best players they bought from clubs. Jerome, you know them.
No, I don't have any idea of those best players.
Because now,
because when Herbert came,
yeah,
he bought from BA United, he bought from Dwarfs, he bought all the best players from these clubs. And we saw Kumasi Asante Kotoko in less than 5-6 months performing.
Yeah.
Accra Hearts of Hope. When Jones Atukwe took over, the days of Haris Akwo and Ni Aibonte, they were buying the top players from Dwarfs. They will go to other clubs and bring all their top players. Louis Ajiman bringing them to Hearts of Oak, and in no time, they were performing. So if indeed you get professional and best players, in a month or 2, they will begin to gel and they will give you results.
Let me do this message from Godwin in North Kaneshi, and he says, Nat, good show as always. The problem is in Kotoko is caused by people like Jerome who have been around for a long time, and all they do is praise singing. I read him on why Naby Keita and Gama are not playing, and I nearly wept. Now, had Olympics taken their chances on Thursday, they would have won by 6 goals to 0. Is this the team that is bigger than GFA, NDC, and MPP? This is from Godwin in North Kaneshi. Okay, so let's respond to this. Yes.
I mean, yes, he read me on Gama.
Yeah.
But whatever I wrote on Gama was not my opinion. I was only putting out information as given to me. It wasn't my opinion. And I'm saying that if Gama is not playing because of his documentation, what is praise singing got to do with this? I did not praise Masok Nedu for saying that Gamma is not playing because of his documentation. My point is, you can't do anything about it. If Immigration Service, or is it Ministry of Interior, or whoever is supposed to authorize the boys stay here, it is delaying, or the processes are delaying because of COVID and those things, what can you do? You only have to wait till the processes are complete, so you can field the boy. Because if you field him now, that's another matter. In fact, it will be irresponsible to even field a player who is not qualified to play. So on that matter, we need to just understand the issues. If their documentations are not ready, so they will be able to play, you just have to wait till they are ready. Now, somebody mentioned goalkeeping. You see, this goalkeeping issue, people used it against Kotoko to a degree that I thought they were not being fair to the club. Now, checked the week Felix Annan got injured. It was match day 2. And I've been saying this. At the time he was injured, Razak Abaloroa was also not ready to be fielded because of some issues, some health issues. We were left with 2 goalkeepers. My position is this. Had the management decided not to buy goalkeepers or recruit a 4th goalkeeper, what were we going to do with 1 goalkeeper? Sometimes I think we need to be a little, less critical of certain decisions.
Sure.
So that we understand that those in charge of the club, if not for anything, have an idea what they are doing. From here, all we need to do is we should be calm. We should maintain cool heads.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, I don't think I like the fact that Maxwell was sacked. But there's nothing you can do. Accept it, maintain a cool tempo, and then support the management and see what new thing they will do. Tomorrow we are playing Dreams FC. Whether we like it or not, it's a difficult game. We will need to win to stabilize how people are feeling around the club. So from here, we should all keep cooler heads, believe that no matter how bad things are getting, it is going to go well. So that we can...
I agree with Jerome. I think they need to calm down, give management some time, and hope that things will turn around. They shouldn't put pressure on them.
No. Let's activate the phone lines now. 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. 541. We already have a caller on the line. Before that, let me just read this one from Alu Forson, who's listening from London. He says, hi, I think nowadays it seems you don't upgrade us on the scores of the EPL during the program, which forces us to look, in other sources. Alu, there you go. Crystal Palace are down by 4-0 to Liverpool. So Liverpool leading Crystal Palace by 4-0. Later today, Southampton play Manchester City, Everton play Arsenal, and Newcastle play Fulham. That's later in the evening. So Liverpool leading by 4-0 against Crystal Palace. So Alu, there you go. Apologies for going quiet on that for a bit. We've resumed and it's going to be permanent. Let's get on the phone line now. Let me speak to my first caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Nat.
This is Inko, I guess.
Yes, Inko.
Very well.
Joseph.
Please go ahead.
You nickname the whole word.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. You see, it's rather unfortunate that some of us are in the fix because we clamored for a domesticated coach, which is Maxwell Konadu, because we said we didn't want any white man again in our team. And when he came, he's been doing well, and it got to a point that our former board chairman and executive of the club, that's Dr. Chase time, got to an end. We clamored for the first time that Otunfo or Manshia to change their way of doing things, and they listened to us. They brought the board, they made the board to also choose their CEO, and the CEO too was allowed to have his own management members. And it looks as if they have not performed badly so far. If you look at the kind of sponsorship and partnership that they have brought off the field, they've at least so far done marvelously well. So our next prayer was to see whether it will transform onto the field of play. And on On the field of play, we know it has to do with the technical department and the playing body. It's rather unfortunate that we've not seen it that way yet. And we cannot blame the technical head because I always say football has its own way of disapproving logic. They need them to gel.
Okay.
Because if you have players, it's rather unfortunate. Your time is limited.
Sure. But sir, very well taken. Thanks so much for the thoughts there, Inko Joseph. 0302 216 541 0302 216 541. Get through to us and let's get talking. Wilson in Cantonments has sent another one. He says, again, it must be noted that Herbert Mensah was able to turn the tide away from himself because he politicized our football by claiming that Hearts' success was due to the then sports minister. As for the rebuilding twist, it was more of a slogan. Okay, I hear you. That's your we'd have to respect your views, of course. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon. And unfortunately, we can't hear you. We're struggling to hear you. So, if you can redial. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Very well. Good afternoon. My name is Nathaniel.
Yes, my name is Kofi from Tema.
Kofi, please go ahead.
I want to touch on the athlete bit.
Please go ahead.
For me, it's unfortunate how the leadership handles issues. I mean, it's so bad. And I want to encourage the young girls, the young guys who get into these things to really come to the media, to tell the media their stories. Because you're supposed to have a very transparent process. When you're signing contracts with people, you're supposed to sign good contracts with them. You can't just say that you're on the street. I came to pick you. Therefore, I can use your talent whichever way I want. And you should come and apologize, even if you are speaking the truth. Never apologize if indeed you are speaking the truth. Whoever is in leadership should know that once you pick people, it's a business transaction. Let everything be well known to the people. Don't adopt the usual Ghanaian attitude where it's like, wow, I'm the one helping you, you're from the street, and so what? It's a business transaction. You can't tell somebody that you're an athlete, you've gone to compete, you are back, and you're about to square zero, and you are just manipulating them, taking advantage of them simply because you are the one who helped them. These things have been going on countless times. In even football, everywhere, they just use people, and these same people will come around to accuse the people that they are using in that manner. If indeed they do the right things, just watch what the Europeans do. Everybody wants to go to Europe to go and play football, right? How about here? Why can't we spend in and make our football very good? They are not able to do that because they underpay their players, they don't treat them well, and when they come out to speak, then they want them to come and apologize. It happens to Mutari, who, when he was speaking the truth, today they've been able to get him off the Black Stars, and Ghana lost at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 0302 216 541. Okay, so Alu Fossen has sent a message. Thanks, Nat. Kudos. You do all. What a swift response. Long live the Sports Link. And may you live long as well, Alu, and continue to listen. Oh, you know, you are my platinum mind. So if you, listen every other Saturday. Let's get back on the phone line and speak to our last caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Nat.
Okay, I hope you are doing well.
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Okay, because of time, I would want you to limit it to 40 seconds for me, if you can.
Okay, then thank you very much. With regard to Matabisu issue, those who are handling Mata have done a great disservice to Mother Ghana. You understand? As you were saying, the guy is a juvenile. So, I mean, if a juvenile, you apologize to somebody who is old enough to be your father. I mean, what is that? And you cannot tell the small guy to come and apologize. And you've done a great disservice to Ghana. You understand? And concerning the protocol issue, I mean, I'm not surprised though. This is a team who can find a coach who don't have work permit. In 6 years, protocol, they sack 10 coaches. In 6 years though, they sack 10 coaches. Why would I take it serious? I will not take it serious. And I disagree with Maxwell when he said, when the protocol said it affects Ghana football. It will not affect Ghana football. They were playing football even when football was truncated. During the normalization, they were playing football. They have never affected Ghana football. So I disagree with them. I will never take protocol serious. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Gentlemen, we need to move it on from here, and our time is spent now. Gentlemen, always a great pleasure to have you here in the studio, but let's do our final thoughts as we wrap it up here.
Well, on Kotoko, I think that the management can do the work. I still believe in them, so supporters should have a bit of patience. On Mata Bisa, we shouldn't discourage people like us who want to invest in sports. If athletes continue to disrespect officialdom, you won't find anybody investing in athletes, bringing them from the villages to become national stars.
Thank you. Jerome?
Kotoko, this is not something we cannot get over. We should just be calm and see what the management will do from here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful time, as always. And of course, thank you so much to all of you who always do the listening from here in Ghana and around the world. Remember, Joy Sports is your number one, especially on a big weekend like this. Get on our social media handles at Joy Sports GH on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as we update you. And of course, get on the sports page of myjoyonline.com for more stories. A lot is coming up this Christmas season. But remember, you have to be with us on Monday as we bring you the Joy FM Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols. It's going to be wonderful. The adorable, ever-present Hannah Odame is here. And shouts to the whole Joy Sports team, especially, my sit-in producer for today, Elon Benaya. Shouts to everybody else. And of course, I'll give final shouts to my brother Faisal, Peter Osei, and his lovely wife Nanama on the opening of their Oyarifa Mall. And watch out as we bring you many big things from the Oyarifa Mall, Joy 99.7 FM and Oyarifa Mall. Big ups to you, Peter and Nanama Osei. Okay, so that's how we wrap it up here on the Joy Sports Link. I'll be back by God's grace next week with another Joy Sports Link. Anna Odame will now bring you the Joy headline news at 2. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport. From the end to the way.